What's happening, Reject Nation? We're gonna watch episode 8 of All of Us Are Dead. Leave a like if you can. Doesn't take much work. Also, thanks to everyone who's joined our Patreon page. Full-length watch-alongs for All of Us Are Dead are over there, along with a bunch of other shows that we cover too. And the boys at Prepper. Thanks for helping us edit down these highlights. Let's get to it.
괴롭힘 당하는 애들도 문제가 있어. 솔직히 애들도 이유가 있어서 널 괴롭혔을 거 아니야.
True.
Victim blaming, first resort.
솔직히 애들도 이유가 있어서 널 괴롭혔을 거 아니야.
What's your plan?
학교가 다 불타버렸으면 좋겠어. 아무것도 안 남게. 전부 다 사라지게.
Oh my. Fire starter.
It's like fighting the Terminator.
확실하지? 너밖에 없는 거. 다 좀비예요. 다 죽었어요, 전부 다.
You are awful.
Dick.
You're just gonna take this one kid's word for it? You mean he can confirm that all the students are zombies?
Yeah, from up here. Isolated.
What a
roof.
crock of shit. That is so annoying.
Wow. Wow.
돈 걸려나?
Oh, zombie off.
너 왜 안 죽었어?
No, she is the secret weapon.
We on fire up in here.
문 열렸어.
Oh no. Oh god.
Hey, fuck you. I'm so mad at that guy.
Yeah. And he's gonna live all the way to the end, I just know it.
That is gross. Glad things are optimistic for her.
너 걔 생각나? 교무실에 있던. 시켜버릴 거야! 반장도 그런 거 아니야? 괜찮을 거야. 어떻게 될지 장담 못 하잖아. 죽을지 살지도 모르는데. 원조가 저랬으면 너 먼저 버릴 수 있어?
She's your secret weapon.
Yeah. See how much she helped out just now?
얘들아 힘내자.
그건 여기. 이렇게 해야지.
그리고 저기 S급 부분. 저기 좀 짧아. 하나 더 필요하겠다.
이 정도면 돼.
Great team building exercise.
지나갈 수가 없어. 못 보고.
잘 만들긴 했다 우리가.
Has a really good SOS, yeah.
Guys, now is not the time for perfectionism.
Pick up supplies.
그냥 편하게 형이라고 불러요.
예, 형님.
그럼 어차피 뭐 형 동생도 먹었겠다. 말을 그냥 이제 편하게 해도 될까?
Oh no.
미친놈의 새끼.
왜요?
도라이 새끼야. 어? 인터넷 방송인지 뭔지 그걸 찍겠다고 여기를 쳐 겨들어와? 이 새끼 도라이 새끼 아니야 완전히. 뭐? 구독과 좋아요? 그게 네 목숨보다 좋아요? 이거 아주 정신 나간 새끼 아니고.
Hey man, dude's gotta make a living.
아닙니다, 형사님.
너는 새끼야 내 친동생이었으면 저 멀리 좀비까지 갈 곳도 없어. 나한테 맞아 뒤졌어 여기서. 형이 형사 생활을 오래 하다 보니까 살겠다고 버티는 새끼랑 죽겠다고 덤비는 새끼는 못 당하겠더라. 애들이 걱정이지.
그 제가 구독자가 좀 되거든요. 이 확실하게 매장시켜 드릴 수 있는.
No way he came back with a bus.
경사님!
저기 배신자 새끼.
You traitor! You get back on the bus.
빨리 뛰어요 위로. 뛰어내려요. 알았어 이 새끼야 조용히 해. 야 가자.
Windshield wipers.
Find something to hold on to.
이게 나를 데리고 뛰었어야지 혼자 이렇게 막 가 왜?
어떻게 들면 돼 이 미친 새끼야 빨리 뛰라니까.
아니 아프다니까 다리.
너 이 새끼 거기 뒤질래 아니면 그냥 다리 이렇게 부러질래?
Hurry up.
Come on, man.
Let me check.
This episode should be called Apocalypse Problem Solving.
불어 이 새끼야 불어. 서 되게 조심해. 불어. 붙었어? 서가 붙었어? 야 내려갈게.
Maybe Namra has fire breath now.
야, 이걸로 해.
Hold it out.
나 사실 담배 펴.
있었으면서 씨.
안 받을 거야?
You didn't need to tell them you smoke or something. You could have just handed them the lighter.
Oh, that's right. Got it.
너 대형 면허 있어? 없지?
Who gives a shit?
이종 보통이요.
너는 가면 나한테 뒤졌어 이 새끼야. 지금 이거 무면허 운전부터 해가지고 이 새끼야. 스톱 스톱 스톱.
Oh no!
Damn.
Oh.
너 좀비가 자전거 타는 거 봤어? 야 굴. 애기 좀 안아봐봐. 조심.
Now she's gonna think she got bullied by you guys. No.
Yeah, that guy totally roasted her on a live stream.
가자. 아저씨 경찰이야.
No! You were saved.
팔 쭉 뻗어서 그대로 들고 가슴 너무 내밀지 말고. 오, 존나 섹시해. 오. 뭘 야려. 그따위 정신 상태면 배우지 마. 기껏 활 쏘는 거 가지고 잘난 척을. 야, 왜 안 돼? 국가대표 떨어졌어? 대학 못 가?
You guys are a goddamn embarrassment.
대학이든 실업이든 활만 쏠 수 있으면 뭐든 다 괜찮아. 근데 이제 활 쏠 데가 아무 데도 없어.
Except everywhere outside.
좀비 때문에 양궁 선수들 다 죽으면 너가 자연스럽게 국가대표 돼. 그만 징징거리고 와서 나 활 쏘는 거나 가르쳐.
Oh, that one was a Cupid arrow right into her heart.
손잡고 가자. 뛰지 말자.
Aww. Oh. White blood cells are killing it.
라야, 너네 진짜 맞아요. 나연이가 경수 죽인 거예요.
너 살인자야.
What happened to Miss Park?
We haven't seen her since she ran out.
네가 죽였잖아.
Well, at least she feels bad about it.
니들 싫어한 적 없어. 그냥
Thought you wouldn't be liked?
친구가 없었으니까. 난 솔직히 너 좀 싫었어. 너무 잘나서 우리랑은 말도 안 섞으려는 줄 알고.
난 사실 가끔 반장이 없었으면 좋겠다 싶었어.
You guys are singling out the wrong person.
We just sang and everything. Come on.
난 반에서 20등도 못하는데. 그치?
야, 너랑 주영이랑 같냐?
아니 그냥 한 말이지.
You'll be number one on the
넌
charts.
내가 말만 하면 꼭 예민하게 그러더라. 너 나 좋아해?
아 뒤질래 진짜.
누구 좋아하는데?
미친놈이야. 얘는 누나.
양 공부하려니? 너 미쳤구나.
Oh shit.
그녀는 마치
Cupid.
나한테 그거 말해줄게. 너 진짜 말해줄 거야? 뭐라고?
너 쏴 죽이라고. 누나 좋아하지 말랬지.
천암.
swear to God, if you push Miss Park. Son of a bitch. Oh.
너도 애들도 다 무서워서 그런 거야. 그러니까 나중에 꼭 친구들한테 돌아가. 나는 너 꼭.
Man, she fortunately stored you in the right room.
Yeah, helping out to the very end.
How are you gonna make it to the roof?
Yeah, without running into Guinom.
어렸을 때부터 양궁 천재 소리 듣고 자랐거든. 그래서 우리 가족은 항상 누나가 국대 되나 안 되나만 신경 쓰고 나한텐 관심도 없었어.
관심은 내가 주잖아, 천암. 슬퍼하지 마, 내가 있잖아.
잘 모르겠지만 친구가 생긴 기분이야.
Yeah, now you're invincible too. You have the best experience.
Thank God you came here.
Saw the shadow, yeah.
옥상 가야 되는데 문이 잠겨서 저쪽으로 가려고.
너 좀비 아니지?
좀비는 씨발.
Ain't no bitch zombie.
고프냐고. 나도.
Damn.
진짜 솔직하게 좋아하는 애 있어? 응.
진짜?
어.
뭘 그렇게 뜸을 들여. 짝사랑이냐?
거의 그래.
누군데?
Everyone knows.
몰라.
누군데? 내가 아는 애야? 누구?
너. 내가 좋아해.
야, 너 왜 그래? 얘들 아니야. 청순이 장난치는 거야.
Open your eyes, girl. It's obvious, man.
6살 때부터 지금까지 12년 동안 대박.
Don't jump off the roof.
I just want the whole school to burn.
넌 나한테 제일 친한 친구였는데 이삭이도 없어지고 너도 없어지고 나보고 어떡하라고.
Did he not puke her up?
I hope you guys notice him.
비켜줄래?
Oh.
나 혼자 있고 싶은데.
This is not going according to plan.
Oh. She probably never thought it was even possible.
Do you hear that? Hope you hear that.
He's right behind you. Oh, damn it, he is. Oh, damn it.
You freaking him.
God, what
It's
a...
trying to behave like one of those Marvel Netflix shows.
Soon to be no longer Netflix show.
Take it away, John.
That was a very emotional episode, and I really appreciated the interplay, that they did, because, you know, not every episode has a certain amount of zombie carnage. I feel like this one is maybe a little more slight in that department, but what I really enjoyed that they employed in making up for that was a really tight interplay between very touching moments that would then segue, often in the same scene, to very sinister, unsettling tones, and they would weave in and out of that, I thought, very nicely. And, you know, we cut outside the school maybe once or twice, but I thought, you know, just, again, we've done so much sort of bonding with the students up until now, you know, like we pretty much know our core group here. But this episode, I thought, brought more sort of layers out and brought a nice sense of levity to the circumstances, while also being in a situation that is especially hopeless because, you know, like the chopper leaves, the guy takes off, he doesn't bother to help them at all, he commits to leaving them there. And yeah, this, as we ramp up towards the end of the season, felt like a sort of, I'm not sure. It felt like a calm before some type of storm, although, you know, as the situation expands and it seems like the the military gains more control, I'm not even really sure what to expect in terms of how, you know, the last several episodes, last 3 or 4 episodes of the season will play out. But I thought this was a really interesting one, tonally speaking, and did some nice little zoom-ins on different characters again. That was kind of my main takeaway from this episode. Obviously, you know, bringing out some of the love, especially between Chung-san and An-jo. It's about time. But what were your feelings? How'd you like it?
I like parts of it.
This is your least favorite episode of the season?
I'd say so.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I know some of you guys tend to come in our comments and say, like, yo, you guys are reactors who really get these episodes a lot. And I appreciate those comments, but I gotta be honest, when I'm not huge on something.
Okay.
The first 10 minutes kind of upset me a lot, and they kind of pulled me out of the episode just a little too much. It felt like plot convenience to keep them trapped here, and I wasn't a fan of how that went down. Like, you send people there, you send choppers there to it's a big ass school.
Yeah.
You know, and you've seen moments where they're like, these SWAT teams are going in to buildings,
Yeah.
and, you know, shooting their way through malls and stuff, and then you send them in, and granted they're not as big of a soldier unit to go in there and shoot down some zombies or whatever, but they're there for like 5 seconds, take one kid's word for it who's trapped on the roof, and then they just take off. And of course, like, they happen to just get the door open because someone else in the school happened to set a fire. So they happen to trigger the door open, and they just happen to see the chopper take off, and no one notices the kids on the roof. And it was the first time this show pulled me out and felt like they wrote themselves into a situation to keep them at the school. And it's like, do I really want them to leave the school? No, I don't. But I found myself actually annoyed with a choice. So I don't mind it, but it was the first time where I felt like an episodic installment in an episode, where there were some things that felt like very necessary to me, but then the way I used to feel before, where I thought things were kind of seamlessly intertwined between zombie stuff, tension, and then drama, I felt like they wrote themselves into a situation. This reminded me most of The Walking Dead.
I was waiting
if I'm
for
being
it.
totally honest. Like,
Yeah, it does. It has
of
that.
like, let's drastically slow down over some convenience to keep our characters trapped here.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then now let's just have a bunch of conversations, which are all fine. Like, it all enhances character development for many of them. Like, I'm like sitting there going, I don't know most of these kids truly, you know. It's like I know them through the situations and their personalities, but you know, to get some of the crushes out of the way. Just then I found myself starting to nitpick, and I'll call it a nitpick because I did find myself kind of going down that rabbit hole of nitpicking, like when they're trying to start a fire, but she has a fire, like a lighter there the whole time. Like, okay, what was the point of all this when you could have just handed them the lighter? You know what they're trying to do, and like it's just supposed to be some deep character thing because she was shy of presenting a lighter because that's an indicator of her lack of perfection, of the perception that people have of her, and she doesn't trust people or have friends, and this is her giving herself like, is it supposed to be her like part of her arcing into feeling like she has? Is that what it's supposed to be? Maybe. I'm sure someone's gonna tell me all of that. But that's just another thing where I'm like, I feel like I start feeling like they're just writing themselves. I never felt like anything was being dragged out, and this was the first time I felt like something was being this was being a bit dragged out, and it's like I don't mind it. Like there's like, well, okay, what do I like? So we got to see what happened in this park and how it. Do you remember her name? I don't remember her name. The girl and the
in the food closet, Na-yeon?
Na-yeon?
Na-yeon, yeah.
Okay, Na-yeon. All right. With Na-yeon, we never saw that scene unfold before, so I like seeing Na-yeon
haunted by.
Well, that's again, I made fun of this before in the last time when they were doing all the cameras, when they were talking to the camera, or when she was trapped in there, like. Every single time she wants to go out there, like, and then someone just brings up what happened.
Yeah.
She wants to go out there. Someone brings up, and then let me pack stuff. I'm gonna try to give it to them. Someone brings up what happened, and it's sort of feeling less. Was this the one that talked about? Am I thinking of something else, or that talked about giving into the poetic nature? Is that a different show I'm thinking of, or did this episode do that? I think it was I think I'm thinking of a different show.
I'm not sure.
I must be thinking of a different show. Talking about poetry. I think I like seeing that, and it made me appreciate her character a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for her still at all, and I don't, because I'm like, while Miss Park is being misunderstanding because she takes on some of the guilt of feeling like she cornered her into doing something like that. Yeah. I don't care how scared you are to get to the point where you straight up kill someone because your feelings are hurt or embarrassed or something.
I mean, like, you still did it for a pretty. Even if that was a play, you still did it with a good amount of prejudice and hatred in your heart too.
Yeah. So I don't I can't. I don't feel bad for her at all. I really don't, no matter how much she cries or we try to give some type of sympathetic lens towards her.
I appreciate the nuances. I don't necessarily feel bad for her, but I appreciate that they're at least bothering.
I appreciate the nuances too. Like I enjoyed seeing her more, and I enjoyed seeing the flashbacks more. And I like the fact that she does feel haunted by her actions. Yeah. And it's not to say you can't come around to a character. Like, we didn't see her devolve into what Guinam is, or if she's just a regular zombie. We haven't seen that.
It looks like he pretty much devoured her. I don't know. It seems like even if she was... You would assume that then she would turn into like what Namra has become, but then I'm like, I don't know if there's going to be enough of her left. And it's funny because they establish
they rapid heal.
They do, but the question is, we never see her remains, and the way they play that scene, it's so bloody that like the other guy, I guess, came back as a normal zombie, right? The guy that Yoonji was eating in the lab that she like puked up. That guy, he came back as like an actual regular zombie, I think, in this episode. So maybe
what was worse about how Guinam, when he was being bit, he was being like devoured by like 8 zombies.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the key is between regular zombies biting you and then you mutating into that, but it seems like, Guinam bites Namra, she gets the new advanced virus, and then that's like the first trackable new virus bite, and then you get the thing with Yoonji and the other teacher, and that guy seemed to have just turned into a normal zombie. So I don't know really what to expect with Na-yeon, although I mean, you don't see it, and I feel like, you know, nowadays especially, everything can be hidden off camera for a surprise later, but I don't know, just the way they played that really made it feel like, I don't know if there's going to be much left of her to heal. And also, he didn't puke her up, so I don't know, I'm questioning the rules right now.
Yeah, that's a fair question. Yeah, that was cool death. I like the detective a lot, being trapped with the influencer, and like the argument, fun banter they have, and then the fact that the guy comes back with a bus, which I think is more convenient than anything else.
Totally.
And I love I love the coincidental bumping into Eunji when she's on the bike.
Yes.
I thought that came into the fold really well.
Yeah.
And out of anything in this episode that got me most excited, it's the cliffhanger, and also a tease of what's to come. And I did like that Chung-sun finally revealed how he feels, which is just another indicator that he's going to turn. Yeah. I think he's going to die. I've said it for the past few episodes, but I feel like he's going to die.
Okay.
Or get turned into I think he's gonna turn into an actual zombie. I don't think he's gonna turn into like one of these super zombies.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, it's like I guess I just didn't feel much for this. I wasn't like sitting here livid. The only time I was genuinely annoyed was the first 10 minutes. But I wasn't sitting here like really upset or bored for even that matter. This was the least affected, I would say. Like even nothing was really, the final moments were intense, but a lot of it really wasn't that tense to me, nor was the drama really moving me, to put it simply. I was just like, okay, I'm watching some stuff happen. It's kind of interesting, yeah.
That's fair.
Just my overall vibe with it. I feel like it's, out of all the episodes, as a complete package per episode, this was the least interesting one to me, with some very isolated, incredibly interesting moments.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I probably maybe was more sucked into this particular one overall, but I think I would agree. I mean, of all of them, this one feels the least plugged into the overall momentum that is driving just the entire situation, connected across all these different places. And I mean, you do check in with the detective and with firefighter dad. Like you check out of the school a couple times, but you're mostly there. And yeah, I mean, in the first, I thought the fire thing, that's probably the most frustrating detail to me, because that really did feel just like a plot device, because like the sprinklers come on, it makes sense, but at the same time I thought that was going to be a new problem to create way bigger tension, whereas it does just seem like a plot mechanic to, you know, create a certain type of outcome, to get Yoonji out of the school, to get, you know, the door open, blah blah. And yeah, it's like, as much as I expected them not to be saved by the helicopter, there is some of that where you're like, they still could have been though. So yeah,
who's that guy who really has feelings for Eunji? I think he is so underwritten that I just don't like him, to the point where I don't even fully get his choice, to just completely lie and say like, yeah, there's no one trying to get through this door right now, or like he's such a coward. Like he's like beyond cowardly, to the point where I'm like, I know people like that exist, don't get me wrong. I get that, but I know nothing more than that about him.
Yeah, it's like you have the echoing remnants of I guess they should all die, like when he's talking to her in the early episodes, where it's like they should all burn, they should all die.
That's not even his belief.
And it's not even his belief. Yeah, it just feels like kind of the last idea that he was left with, and I guess he's not going to make any decisions beyond that, is how it feels. Like, yeah, I guess he's just kind of resigned to that, which doesn't feel like the strongest choice because we don't really get to see inside of him. Yeah.
The only good thing that he's done is he's helped prevent Eunji from jumping off of the roof.
Yeah.
That was about it. But when it came to when she was being, sexually assaulted in the first episode, he didn't stand up for her, and he took the video himself.
Yeah.
But he at least bargained. He at least grew a little bit of a pair of balls to bargain with the one guy about hey, what was the deal? Something about the phone, right? He had some deal that he struck.
Yeah. That the video wouldn't go live if they did something or other. Yeah.
Yeah, so he at least fought in that sense.
Yeah.
He found her on the roof to try to stop her. So this guy has the ability to speak up. He has the ability to think for himself. But yeah, he's so cowardly, and I don't know anything about him other than the fact that he's just such a coward, and so I don't have a understanding to why. So I just get left with a feeling of I kind of hate you. You just leave Eunji behind when she's Eunji's so bullied. She's more bullied. Yeah, it's worse than I originally thought. When you're doing all those flashbacks, I'm oh man, they were just dogpiling on her.
Yeah. At every possible opportunity, it looks like.
Yeah, so every choice she makes, I completely get, and I kind of root for her. And
the rage just seethes off of her, yeah.
Yeah, and I get it. Her wanting to go in and burn the school, I'm fuck it, yeah, go for it. I forget about the other people in the school at the time because I go, yeah, I get where you're coming from. But then that friend of hers just abandoned her, and when she wanted to go and try to retrieve the phone, he was too cowardly to go.
Yeah.
And then he straight up lets these people. That's a form of murder.
Absolutely,
yeah,
it's a form of murder.
Yeah. What happens with our
it's the
group?
train test. You know, you're you don't pull the lever. You're complicit.
So yeah, I think. Yeah, it was just very frustrating, and maybe they had to keep him for a show that seems to go out of their way to kind of give you depth to every character,
and that isn't
He's
afraid.
very underwritten. So.
Yeah, and a show that isn't afraid to do that with just one character isolated alone.
Yeah,
is why I'm surprised we didn't get anything with him. He's just a black hole of ineffectual cowardice.
I like what they're doing with Namra. That's her name, right?
Yeah.
Right. I like what they're doing with Namra. I think that's really, really. I get this vibe she'll be the last one standing.
Probably. As long as they don't go too superhero with it, because that is a pretty great ability for her to just be able to kind of step in with super strength and.
Well, she seems to have more senses. At least know how to hone in on them better than the other two.
Yeah, she does seem
she can activate her hearing sense really well.
Yeah,
her auditory senses. So, yeah, it wasn't a bad episode, but it was just the least compelling one, I would say.
It's the most Walking Dead-y episode.
It really was. I started shit, this is feeling like Walking Dead.
If you know, you know, you know. Yeah. But hey, next week we're gonna have a show, or next episode we're gonna have a showdown, Guinom. So
yeah,
that'll be good.
It's when it came to the archers too. It was the story of all I know how to do is archery. It's all I care about. I'm and from what the show showed me, that's all you do too.
It's been perfect visual representation up till now. It would be nice to have details beyond this. Yeah.
Why you are the way you are.
Yeah, it's the start of something, but it's go a little deeper on that because that's already what you've shown me.
If you're gonna slow down to give substance or more nuance, I think you can't just completely mess with the pace.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah. I know a lot of people probably think this episode's phenomenal and good. Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
I just want cool chicken archery girl to get together by the end. That's what I'm rooting for right now.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. And let's do a
Pandemic Jones, who better to shout out in the midst of a real life pandemic watching a show about a zombie pandemic? I feel like you would be a great person to have in the Survivor group because you have such a lively, upbeat spirit. I feel like you would be the one to sing us a song or something like that to keep our spirits lifted and to keep us from slipping into bleak resign for our lives to end. I feel like you would be responsible for making sure we make it to the end. And hey, maybe you'll have to sacrifice yourself selflessly, but it's in your name, you know? You are the spirit of the pandemic and you keep us lively. So brother, I hope you're doing well. I hope it's been a good 2022 so far, and we'll catch you next month for something cheerier. Much love. Be well.
You know him that well, huh?
I know Pandemic Jones so well, dude. His name's Paul.